In the late 8th century, a group of seafaring warriors emerged in the rugged landscapes of Scandinavia. This marked the birth of the Vikings, driven by a relentless spirit of adventure. The Viking Age, spanning from the 8th to 11th century, was a time of bold exploration. Their mastery of shipbuilding and navigation enabled raids across Europe, from England to distant Constantinople. Beyond their warrior reputation, Vikings were skilled traders and craftsmen. Their longships carried them on journeys across vast seas, trading goods like amber, furs, and even slaves, accumulating significant wealth. In a time of kings and chieftains, Viking society was structured and stratified, yet bound by a sense of loyalty to their clans. The Vikings crafted several ship types. The iconic longships were the crown jewels of their fleet. These ships allowed them to navigate both open seas and shallow rivers with ease. Timber, the lifeblood of their shipbuilding, was sourced from the dense Scandinavian forests. The Vikings were masters of woodworking. Navigation was an art mastered by the Vikings. They used the stars, sun, and moon as their cosmic compasses. In daylight, the sun on the horizon guided them, while during nighttime, the North Star guided their way. The Vikings carefully observed the flight patterns of birds and the movement of whales. They could deduce the presence of nearby land. Their expeditions weren't limited to nearby lands. The Vikings embarked on daring voyages that took them to England, where they established settlements and kingdoms. Then their ambitions extended to the heart of France, where they left their mark on Normandy. Their voyages weren't just eastward. The Vikings dared to sail westward, discovering lands like Iceland, Greenland, and possibly even North America. These journeys showcased their navigational prowess and the boundless scope of their ambitions. The Vikings were also savvy traders. They established trade routes that spanned continents, trading goods like timber, furs, and precious metals. Warfare and weaponry. Viking warriors were renowned for their fierce and relentless spirit in battle, driven by a deep sense of honor and loyalty. This warrior ethos was encapsulated in the concept of berserker gang, where warriors entered a fury before battle, enhancing their combat skills. These warriors hailed from all walks of Viking society. Their social structure was stratified, with kings at the top, followed by nobles, freemen, and slaves. Warriors held a prominent position, and their skills in battle was a path to fame and fortune. Viking weaponry was characterized by its practicality and craftsmanship. Swords, with their intricate hilts and deadly edges, were status symbols. Axes were the iconic weapons of the Vikings. Battle axes were designed for both cutting and thrusting, making them versatile tools. Shields were made of wood and often adorned with intricate designs. They were used not only for defense but also as weapons, as Vikings would bash and strike with their shields. Bows and arrows were employed for ranged combat, and spears served as both throwing weapons and melee instruments. Armor varied among Viking warriors. Some wore chainmail, interlocking rings of iron or steel, providing protection against cuts and thrusts. Others relied on leather armor, supplemented with metal plates for added defense. In battles, strategy and tactics played crucial roles. Viking leaders employed shield walls, forming tight defensive formations that presented a formidable barrier to adversaries. Vikings' mythology and religion formed the very fabric of their lives. Their belief system was interwoven with gods and goddesses who held immense power over the natural world. The chief of these deities was Odin, the All-Father, the god of war, poetry, and wisdom. Thor, the thunder god, wielded Mjolnir, a mighty hammer capable of crushing mountains. He protected both gods and humans from the chaotic forces of giants. Freya, the goddess of love, fertility, and beauty, was a symbol of sensuality and desire. Her enchanted necklace, Brisingamen, was the object of envy among the gods. Vikings believed in an afterlife, with Valhalla as the ultimate reward for the bravest warriors. It was a grand hall where heroes who fell in battle would feast and fight until Ragnarok, the end of the world. Their religious rituals were diverse, from animal sacrifices to the famous blood eagle ritual. In the Viking Age, mythology and religion weren't just stories. They were the heartbeat of a civilization, guiding their actions, fears, and hopes. The decline of the Viking Age. Environmental changes, including colder temperatures, made farming more challenging. Internal conflicts within Viking communities weakened their unity. The spread of Christianity also played a role. The Norse mythology gradually faded away. In 1066, the Battle of Stamford Bridge in England marked a significant turning point. Viking forces, led by King Harald Hardrada, faced defeat at the hands of the English, ultimately weakening Viking influence in the region. Over time, Viking raids subsided, and their exploration spirit transformed into settlement. The Vikings integrated into the societies and transitioned into a new chapter in history.